Just finished listening to Bill Evans' Peace, Peace. First has an E, A, the next one has an I-E. I am absolutely convinced, because of my 65 years of experience in a society that's driven by three, and the only three cancers of civilization: greed, power, and prestige, fame, kind of. And it's totally infiltrated with such a misconcept of competition in capitalism regarding compassion, especially ESP period, the severely mentally ill. And these doctors are driven by prestige, which gives them power. They can write manuals in scientific journals, be paid great honorariums, blah, blah, blah. Which should drive every human that feels called, as if they can't help themselves. They're just driven by a pulsating empathy that cannot be quenched for the freeing of potential acceptance and love and nurturing for the 1/3 that God creates not fit. Severe mental illness is not the only avenue God uses, but 1/3 are not fit. So you have to be the passion of the miracle worker of Anne Bancroft and Patty Duke. You have to have the passion of the real Dr. Sachs, and that was real too. That's the Helen Keller story. It's the miracle worker herself, I'm pointing out, that had this soul passion. She loved Helen Keller. And Dr. Sachs, oh my God. Dr. Sachs was really like Robin Williams played him in Awakenings, where Robert De Niro suffered from, well, it goes on, a neurological mental illness of unfitness for society and upward mobility. But Dr. Sachs loved him. If you don't love with that passion, to just want to bring comfort, even if there's no success, just comfort, that alone is a success. a little peace, a little happiness, a little acceptance. And as much as you can give, you keep giving it. And if you don't want to do that, don't work with the mentally ill. Please. I have been abused. I really believe 80% of every caregiver in mental health, and I started at fucking 19. And the more money goes into mental health, the more the bar is lowered and lowered on the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm. The bar is so severely lowered on sacrificial giving and the concept of a 9/11 firefighter and you before me and I'm here for you, and if I die in the process, so be it. Money. Now nurses can compare packages in different industries of the mental health and all health, I guess, care. It's just so disgusting. Do we need more nurses? We'll lower the bar. We'll take anyone, and we have to entice them. It's America. Really? We're not manufacturing shoelaces, ladies and gentlemen. We're not delivering fucking packages for Jeff Bezos, are we? You have to slow down. My great-grandfather was a rabbi, and I'll tell you a story that just burned within my own dad's heart, who had to tutor me. I went to 6 schools, and I don't have a GED, and he died when I was 12. But anyway, he was astounding because he owned his own store, worked 100 hours a week, but he knew if it was going to be, it's up to me, meaning I got to teach my son. And he did. And the story of when God told the Israelites, now listen, there's stories like this in the Quran, in the Hindu scripts, obviously in the New Testament. So hold your beer, I think I heard somebody say. All of those religions I just pointed out, and every flavor of them, the one healing ingredient that is taught in their articles of faith is non-judgmental, uplifting, unconditional love. I call it the Newell. So anyway, the Israelites are moving from A to B. This is literally like you live in a town that has to keep moving every other month. And so the entire town, not just your family's got to move, the entire society, every aspect of it that added to its sustaining whole. They're just constantly moving like a tribe. So God tells the Israelites, I'd like to see this work in capitalism. And I want you to know I hate communism more, because there's no freedom. It's free will compassion with no capital. If you could figure out how to make an atomic bomb, come on, brainies, figure that out. All free will. A world driven by compassion, not capital, not gain, not upward mobility, not, oh, I got a raise, blah, 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 Oh, I have I'm now a supervisor. All bullshit. A society that is not driven at all by money. This concept of unifying through money is the broad and wide way of destruction. It just bolsters power and prestige. And vice versa. A society that is built solely on you first. How can I help you? I'm going to die anyway. I just want to help anyone I can. My father, when I asked him how to get to heaven as a Jew, I was 10 years old. The background story's not important. My dad, the word mitzvah has many meanings, or not many, but I know of three. But the issue is that mitzvah, one of those meanings is good deeds. So I asked my dad, I said, Dad, how do Jews get to heaven? Daddy, I always call him Daddy. I never called him Dad. I said, Daddy, how do Jews get to heaven? He said, oh, you know, Avi, mitzvahs. So I knew exactly what he meant. And I said, well, who do you do mitzvahs for, Daddy? Who? And it's just too beautiful. I ain't going through the whole thing. My dad used the word. I didn't know what he meant, and then I had to ask him, and then he explained it to me through role-playing at our kitchen table with my brother and mother, my dad and myself. He said, I said, who do you do mitzvahs for, Daddy? He said, whoever is closest to you geographically. That's the first time I ever remember hearing that word. Maybe I just... But nevertheless, it stayed in my fucking fucked up brain. Isn't that astounding? That's because my dad was a furnace of compassion and love and tenderness and patience. And I knew this man loved me. I'd have done anything he asked. I never did anything my mother asked. She was the counter opposite. But anyway, so they got to move these Israelites. And God said to them, I want you to put, and remember the culture was very programmed, or like the Fiddler on the Roof tradition, everyone had a role, and that's what you did. And you were to put the women, the elderly, the children, and the infirmed in the front. And just some flag people and a couple of just few protectors in the whatever. Why? Because the society was to slow down to the least. It was to slow down to the most feeble. And that's the only way society will work. Jesus taught the Good Samaritan. Muhammad taught the whole essence of the same thing. Who is your neighbor? And he loved a very unloving guy. He did everything that love your enemy, pray for them. Muhammad taught the exact same thing and did it as Jesus. And as Moses, who left the palace for the burden of the people, he said, I got it so good, this is ridiculous. Now, of course, God had to break his arm, but that's not the point. It's what God ultimately wanted. You can't be a Jew if your motivation is not to help the downtrodden. And it was the Good Samaritan in the sense, you help everyone. And that's the essence. Everything else is bullshit. I don't know how I don't even know where I started on this thing. I don't even know. I do know. I'm excessively suicidal. And that song just highlights it. And everyone's oh no, well then put on a happy song. I have no options. None. Have you ever heard that allegory about it's so disgusting, and it is like this is what people have done. I don't know why they would do it, but if you want to get a frog to boil to death, you put him in a nice big pot of cool water, put a couple of little tiny lily pads, put it on your stove, just but cool water. And then just put it on simmer. Within an hour, what happens is it drains the jumping glands and makes them incapable. They drown to death. I have no options that are good and healthy and right for me. And I don't want to be guilted anymore. Gave up my fucking dream because you're as sick as your deepest secret. But somewhere I had hoped that I would have hit such a bottom that then I'd come back and it really happened. We'd eliminate loneliness. We just would. Just wouldn't be anymore. There wouldn't be lonely grandmas in nursing homes. There wouldn't be, oh my God. Do you know how many of my fellow peers on paranoid schizophrenic are in group homes now or in slop houses, and not to mention the ones that are still in the psychiatric wards. Oh my God. No friends. Alone. Eleanor Rigby's all over the world, but I'm dealing with America because affluence creates isolation because you become self-sufficient. So many fragmented families mixed with this upward mobility, now you just have more and more wards of the state like I am. My situation is complicated. But nevertheless, theirs isn't, other than, as I used to say with Turner Frown Around, what fucking crime did Grandma and Grandpa do but to grow old and poor in America? It's just disgusting. You talk about money? Oh my God. The attendance of these nursing homes. It's just bad. It's beyond. I used to say this is really raw. And remember, I'm a Jew, and I'm just trying to punch you in the face. When I get really fired up, I said, fucking Hitler, at least he got rid of what he didn't want. He faced it. That's what he wanted to do. We thought it was the right thing, or it was revenge, or get rid of him. And it wasn't just the Jews. There was a lot of others. Anything that he felt had pimples and wasn't the master race. But he did it. Here today, you're gone tomorrow. You put you in a thing, gas them, done, gas them, done, gas them, done. What does America do? They have such quasi-bizarre, mixed-up moralities, and it's always pick and choose, and it's just bizarre. I could shoot holes in every doctrine that people hold on to, especially laws that are made around people's moral version of what God wants. God is one thing. I think he's going to punish us all for plagiarism and forgery. Everyone knows that this is the way of God. Ask any seriously religious person. They know they're right. They know. It just goes on and on. It's like that fucking joke, but you can see I'm not very happy. So I'm just going to abbreviate it. Because anyway, the point is a man dies, goes to heaven. He sees that immediately everybody that's up there is, there's a line, an angel and a person. And anyway, so they go, and this is where all the religions are. And they're separated a little bit, but so they go by everyone, and each one, the Baptists, you hear a lot of water, the Pentecostals, there's a lot of praise, and the Jews, it's a lot of davening, and on and on and on and on. So they get, and you pick the name of the religion. It could have been one of the three I just said. So the joke is they go through like 20 different forms of religion. But then all of a sudden, as they continue, there's a big there's a lot more room. It's miles before they get, and then this all quiet, take shoes off, no talking. So they go through this whole, and whatever that religion is, they finally get on the other side, put your shoes on, okay to continue to talk. So the man looks and says, wow, what was that all about? He said, oh, they think they're the only ones up here. Anyway, it's just disgusting. But the point is that what's most disgusting is that all the religions tell us the same thing, but no one does it. And then they end up getting corroded themselves because they try to compete within the world using filthy lucre, and it just goes. Just how much you compromise, and ultimately, and the ones that don't compromise at all, they just get ostracized. Unfortunately, the darkness eclipses the light. Or at least the light dies in pacifism and in a loving community. But notice which is the in control. Money, greed, prestige, and power. No matter where you are in the fucking world. So now I'm in the system that I know cannot help me. I've tried too many times. The most illogical thing is that here I am, seriously very ill. Very bad. It's psychiatric, it doesn't matter. Maybe he's watching this and just know where I'm at already, deeply. But the thing is that I have no options anymore. I've been homeless so much, but I had a body that could be homeless. Schizophrenia is so crazy, sometimes I'd be homeless, I didn't have to be. It doesn't matter. I can't do that. My body is 65, heart attack, esophagus, 4 major, chronic, what did Dr. Healy say, arthritis in my lower back and spine. I can't do home. I can't live any place they have placed me. I've been placed over, I'm sure 20, I don't know, 15 times, 20 times, I don't know. I've been placed a lot. I've never been able to stay. When last time I was homeless in Pittsburgh, they wrote down impossible to place. I'm not here to justify any of it. I'm here to face that fact that what the mental health industry has with its cookie cutter and funding and everything's based on money, everything. We're sorry we can't help anymore. We don't have any more money. It's astounding. There's something overseas where at least they're feeding, 1 million people, and then the funding dries up, and so the people die. Now, that was very complicated. Anyway, that's why the world is completely wrong. Anyway, everyone has to be a winner or we're all losers. And so what is that with this? There's when you go in the world that there's winners or losers. What's the next thing? I got to be a winner, and I got to. Well, I can't worry about these people because they're the losers. Sorry, even if it's not your fault. Listen, I got to do upward mobility. I got to take care of my own, and then they always make it harder to take the money. You got to need this, you need that to compete. I guess 150 years ago, no one was worried, like, oh my God, if I got to feed my family, I need a car. Anyway. So I'm so trapped. I don't have enough money to live. I've had free housing for, in a sense, or however you want to look at it, coming up on my birthday, April 4th, will be 3 years. I cannot afford gas and lead. I just need, but it's non-existent. So these people tell me I'm not grateful, I gotta learn to bend, could you shut up? I've tried. I really have tried. I've tried to get this elephant body in one of your kennel cages for dogs and cats and rodents. It doesn't work, and I don't have the get up and go. That old saying, the get up and go, is gotten up and gone. I'm just more insane, more physically trapped, more bad things coming at me, physically or psychologically. I'm suicidal on steroids now. I keep thinking, I suppose it doesn't work. I've tried, it just, oh my God. I want to slit my wrist so bad and but I'm afraid to because if it doesn't work. Oh, Jesus. So now I'm thinking maybe I need to go to a high elevation. I think it's I just need to study that. I just gotta jump. That's it. And it's guaranteed I'll die. I just gotta do that. Because I'm gonna die anyway. But I don't want to die in the system as a ward of the state. I never thought I was gonna have an esophagus perforation. I finally found a place where I could kind of be okay. And my daughter dies, 3 major operations, a heart attack, another major operation, now arthritis from an accident it took a year to recover from when I was 27, thank you God. I had sarcasm. Now the arthritis is out of control. I'm living on, I take over 40 pills a day. And half of them are dealing with back pain that I'm not supposed to take. What else am I going to do? But in a few months, I'm on the street. They've already started evictions. I can't do it. I need a very calm life. I can't do that. Go to a shelter, really. Maybe even 15 years ago, all right, I lived that. I lived that up until I was 60, basically. 61, I think. Doesn't matter. On and off, on and off.